AM 560, The Answer. If it's 1 p.m. and it's Saturday, that can only mean one thing. It's time for the all-new Townstone Financial Show on AM 560, The Answer. The boys are back in town. The show is brought to you by Townstone Financial, the home loan expert since 2002. Townstone Financial is an Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois mortgage licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639. Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone Financial. So let's get started. Guys, it's all yours.
Welcome to the Townstone Financial Show on AM 560 The Answer. I am your host today, Barry Sterner, and in the studio with me today are
Zachary Schwartz.
Alex Schwartz, how you doing?
Right in there. We got Josh on the phone here. Can we get him going?
Yeah, we can. And speaking of interest rates, I mean, I would presume, and I spoke to Josh earlier this week, and I'll show you in just a second, that, you know, a lot of the reason I think we've got a booming empty nester market wanting to downsize is, well, they won't really want to move. And I wanted to get somebody on here. And I wanted to get somebody on here that actually has a lot of experience working that market. Josh Berngard, are you on the line?
I am here, gentlemen.
What's going on? You know, and actually we had his partner on a couple weeks ago, and that kind of preempted having Josh on. Josh, remind me, are you at Exit Realty or is it Buzzer Realty right now? Just so that our listeners know.
It is Exit Realty. We are the Buzzer Real Estate team.
Got it, because I know that you have just transferred. So why don't we go and dive into the market that you work with and the kinds of conversations you're having specifically around the empty nesters, because that's what you mentioned.
Yeah. So the empty nesters, obviously the baby boomers, 1950 pretty much to 1965 is the demographic we're talking about. And we're talking, as you and I were the other day, about how, hey, the inventory is low. And the reason why is because they're not moving. And the conversation that I'm having with them, which is, you know, the cycle we've always seen, is that, you know, their age bracket is going to move. They no longer need 2,300, 3,000, 5,000 square feet in the home, where now there's only two people. Their children have left, and they don't need that. And they are staying because they were smart enough to refinance when we were in the threes and in the twos, and they're living in a home either that they own already or that they refinanced back, 4 or 5 years ago, and they're living close to, you know, nil. Their cost of living is so low that they are not moving. Inventory is staying low because of that reason, and I believe that reason alone.
And they're only living longer. Medicine advancements over the past couple of decades, I mean, life expectancy is going up as well, and those people used to die and leave their houses vacant.
Sure, and the kinds of conversations I've been having a lot is, I'm not moving. I'm not going anywhere until I get a certain amount for the house that I've lived in. And the stock market crash killed me in '08. Because I can't get back what I'm deserved in my house. What kinds of conversations are you having specifically? And if you can rehash some of it. And if you want to call on 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600 if you have anything to comment. But what kinds of conversations are you having with this demographic? And walk me through your process with them.
Yeah, of course. So that is a huge conversation. I want X for my house. This is what I believe it's worth. And the first question I'm going to ask to said seller is, where are you getting your numbers? My neighbor this, I saw this online, I saw this in the paper.
Or I feel it.
And yeah, so it's like, this is what I deserve. Then I go into the process, as I always do before I walk into someone's home. I've already done my research, and I'm going to show them that this is what your neighbor's house really sold for, not what you saw it online for, but this is what they actually closed for. This is what's going on in the area. This is what's going on in the last 2 months. And then I'll even break it down, it depends on where they are, but per square foot.
What kind of reaction? What kind of reaction would you get though if someone says, you know, I think I want to sell my house for $500,000, and you come in saying, well, the comps only really support 350, 400. What kind of reactions do you get?
Well, angry would be the word I would use for you. Angry, growling. But you never go into the conversation, or I don't ever go into the conversation that way. I ask them specifically, what do you want your house to go for? Where, again, as I rehashed before, where are you getting these numbers from? Then I go into, this is what really sold, this is what's going on, here it is. So realistically, looking at this documentation, these facts, I have to inform you that $500,000 is not going to happen because it's not what the market is bearing right now. But we can get from this range, and I will give a range between what we're at.
Something else I want to talk about, and we were to discuss this a little bit this week. Am I better off staying in my house with my really, really low interest rate? The house is too big. I'm not going to upkeep it. I'm going to probably sell in 10 years maybe and be forced to sell at that point, right, because I'm on a fixed income or maybe just, I'm out of cash. Or do I take the more expensive money now and live within my means a little bit more and something, again, more livable for my condition? What would you say to that?
I would tell anyone listening out there, don't hold. We have no idea what it's going to look like. The idea of you letting your house go by not using a bathroom downstairs, or you're not going to go upstairs because you're confined to downstairs, which we're seeing a lot, obviously, if you can't afford to put an elevator. But your specific, example was we're going to let our roof go. You're going to pay for that. When in 10 years from now, 5 years from now, when some inspector comes through, when you are forced to sell, they're going to tear you apart. They're going to take your number and say, well, I want this fixed, I want that fixed, and all of the things that the laundry list that we all do when looking for a home that you're going to move into. My suggestion to all of them, and I've had this conversation many of times, is let's get you out. And if we need to find an equal swap, you could still live for free and nothing but your taxes if you own your home. We'll just obviously don't need 3,000 square feet. Now you need 1,500, you need 700, whatever that may look like. We're gonna get it for you. So again, will you be in the same neighborhood? You probably won't be, but you don't care to be.
Awesome. And Josh, how do people get a hold of you, and where exactly do you service? Let them know.
Yeah, sure. First of all, my phone number, best way of reaching me, obviously, 312-927-5160. That's 312-927-5160. And where do I service? We're in the city, our office. We have one in Naperville, and then all the way through Skokie, all the way up through Northbrook, cutting back over into Buffalo Grove, into Wheeling, and then circling about 30 miles outside of the city is our primary location here, even going as far as Lamont if we go to the south.
He's got it on lock. Josh, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
AM 560, The Answer.